Anyway, there was a vote.
No draw offers. Okay.
Hey,
listen, if you're going to promote chess, you got to promote it correctly. It has to be like the World Wrestling Federation, the death match. Okay. It's got to be a death match, not a draw.
By the way, hold on. But we have Armageddon. If the score of the match is 1-1, we play Armageddon game.
That's right.
White has 5 minutes.
Okay, look.
4, but black needs a draw.
All I want to say, Nick, is Max is on Wikipedia. He's done some pretty amazing things.
He's got a Wikipedia page.
You know, right? I mean, you've done some amazing things, Max. He
was the Australian chess champion. Everybody knows Max, Grandmaster, Australian chess champion. Now we want to align him with the Romanian chess champion, Mihail Marin, who just defeated the German. That's pretty cool. And in a chess death match series, you got to have some hype going on
here. On the show, we don't need to be talking death matches. Right?
We're talking death match and
the last man standing.
Last man standing. Yeah.
Dr. Saggu, what do you think of all this chess talk and stuff? What is your opinion of chess?
Is Dr.
I think he's freezing on us.
I think he's freezing on us.
Max, one thing I have to commend Vietnam on, your Wi-Fi network is really good. I mean, we have guests join us from all over the world, and we all struggle. Even I struggle. Mine goes down. Occasionally Nick's goes down, but yours is really pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. As you said, you want my opinion on the death matches or on chess online in general?
No, death matches. Death matches.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, there's already a pattern for success with this because I've seen chess.com actually use death matches before.
Right.
They changed the name a bit, but the basic concept's there that, no matter what, there's going to be a winner in this match. And yeah, I agree that I think the chess does come down to branding in the end. Right. That we have this very complex and sophisticated game that is not the sort that you can just pick up, say, in 10 minutes and everything that's going on compared to, say, Fortnite, for example. But the thing is, it also can be an opportunity where if we do relates in a way that anyone can understand it, like a fight to the death, and and it's like a battle of the minds and who is going to triumph. If you create the story, I think a lot of people will follow, and definitely having the audience involvement is, I think, one way to make it interesting for everyone, no matter what the position is on the board.
Right. No, I see. I think you're right. And I think Sasha's on the right track by having the audience involved. We have the death match and we bring the Australian champion against the Romanian champion, which if you had to sit on a board and fly together and all that, you can't even do it now because of coronavirus, but you can do it all virtually. So it's kind of a.
By the way, Max, I would like to know your opinion. How coronavirus will affect the development of chess in the world? What will happen to the result of it?
Yeah, actually, I remember I wrote a very long piece about this quite recently, and my conclusion is I think that there'll be certainly more things happening in online chess. You're already seeing the online servers and tournaments really get a big viewing and be very successful. And I think it's also going to accelerate a lot of changes in how people learn chess, and that some methods that were thought maybe as a very optional choice, like, say, watching maybe some video course or being in a chess group or something, I think will become a more dominant way of learning. And you're going to see people actually, I think, be much more united in working together on chess once, even after the coronavirus case is resolved. So that's the direction I see. I think it'll accelerate a lot of changes that were on the way, but the necessity tends to bring them about faster, in my experience.
Yeah, very good observation, because I've read a very interesting article about the further development of chess after coronavirus. And it seems to me that over-the-board game is actually already killed, or it's about to be killed, simply because even before it was not easy to find sponsors for big tournaments, even like traditional tournaments like Weekends or Dortmund or other like traditional tournaments. That was not easy. But now with coronavirus, I'm not even sure where is the next real tournament, if ever, will happen. So obviously things are being moved online, and it's much more enjoyable and easier and cheaper, if you will, to watch. And but you see, the problem again is like I love chess. My wife is 8 times Canadian chess champion, and actually I have to thank her for me playing chess so well, because when we met, she would wipe me out in speed games like 9-1 or even 10-0. She was a master of chess in Russia, and I was nobody. And I was scared that if it will go like that, she would throw me out of the door in 2-3 years, maybe even sooner. So I bought a lot of books and I started to study theory and so on. And well, today we play every day at least 10 speed games. Today I can play 6-4, maybe I lose 5-5 sometimes. So I'm doing much better than many years ago when we met. So you see, you can, when you are motivated, it's easier. It's much easier to improve your game. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think everything is moving online. I agree with you. So as much as I love chess and I watch these games 1 hour and a half, 2 hours and a half, 4 hours to see something happen, you know what? Not every person can do it. And even I
That's right.
found it sometimes I get bored.
Yeah.
So with this, when you are involved in a game, when
It's a different
you
story.
have to predict the moves and you're listening to commentators, you're so busy. You can't even imagine. Because when very often I do play contests myself, not the game, but guessing the moves.
Mhm.
It's and it helps you. By the way, it helps you to improve chess a lot because you're looking to a quality commentators by experts or grandmasters. Sometimes
Mhm.
you're watching the high quality game between two grandmasters.
Right.
So
Right.
even without guessing the moves, you're already learning something about the game. Now, if you really want to win contests, then you take these two players and you go analyze what openings they're playing and so on. But it still doesn't help you because they can change their opening for that particular game and so on. So again, this is really, really involving. You are part of the game. Whereas wherein you're just watching the game in the tournament, even this big tournament that Carlson organized, you're not there. I mean, the game is over there, you are over here. There is no connection. Now, this way, what we are doing at Chess Stars, there is a connection. You're part of the process, a big part of the process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to get Max involved in Chess Stars. Dr. Saggu, what's going on with the coronavirus in India right now? Are you guys still locked down?
Yeah, I think still we are under lockdown, and I think this lockdown is working well here. So if we talk about the doubling time, earlier it was the 3 days, and now it has gone to 10 days. So it's a big relief for us, and we are definitely we are going towards the safe zone now.
Mm-hmm. All right. Has there been a lot of deaths in India, or are they have this under control?
Yeah, it's under control now. Now that even the test kits which imported from the China, they got faulty.
Right.
So now they have been returned. They have been returned back to, and there is a halt on the supply now from the China, and now South Korea company is going to manufacture in India only, nearby New Delhi. So
Mm-hmm.
there is a unit, so they are manufacturing, and their capacity is also very good. Around 5 lakhs of the rapid test kits they are being manufactured in a week, and with this update, I think we would be able to do some good diagnostics now, and even we can do the test for the surveillance also. So when we start the test surveillance, then definitely this would be a good news regarding COVID in India.
Mm-hmm.
And here I would like to mention also that the test positivity rate is also very low in India now. It's around 4.5.
Mm-hmm.
So the 4.5% the tests are being coming positive. And in US, I think it is 19.5, and in Italy it is around 12.5. So positivity rate is on the lower side. So it means the effect of the COVID is becoming on the safer side right now in India.
Mm-hmm. There was a physician on one of the news media here that said one of the problems they've seen in New York is the patients would come in with reduced oxygen level that they shouldn't even be able to walk. But he said one reason Germany is doing so well, they have these oximeters that people read their blood oxygen. I actually bought one. You can buy it off the internet for like $39. I mean, they're not that expensive. And what they do in Germany is they test everybody every day to see if their oxygen level has fallen, so they can immediately get some therapy, rather than they're coming into the hospitals in New York and they're basically, halfway gone. Is there any treatment plan right now in India? Do you know?
Yeah, Nick, this decrease in the oxygen saturation, it comes in the severe complication of the COVID-19, and we can see the deprivation of the oxygen saturation in around, you can say it's 4 to 5% of the patients, not in the mild or the moderate symptoms, but yes, when there is a complication. And here, I would like to tell you the process by which the complication is occurring, because, we are developing antibodies to the COVID virus, the particle of the virus also. But when there is a fluid in the lungs, in the late stage of the COVID, there is a fluid in the lungs, in the alveoli, definitely the protective mechanism, that is immunity of our body, it starts working against its own cells. So, you can say the auto death of the cells is there. So it is because of the overactivation of the immune system against its own cell. So when, our defense is going to kill our own cells, then it is going to damage the lung cells. So that is the condition where your oxygen saturation goes down and you need a support of the ventilator. Yes, so many therapies they are coming, and now there is a placental cell therapy is also in news since 2-3 days. The PLX cells. So PLX cells is like a stem cells where we extract the cell from the placenta, and those cells they can induce the formation of some therapeutic proteins, and those therapeutic proteins they causes immunomodulation. Immunomodulation means they are going to protect, and they are going to decrease the overactivation of the immune system that causes the lung complications, that causes the kidney complication and other complications when we are going to kill our own cells. So this placental cell therapy, placental PLX cell, placental expanded cell therapy, that the stromal cells, I think this is a new, and definitely this is going to help us in severely patient, not in the moderate or mild symptoms, but in severe patients. Definitely they have come up with, I think they treated first patient in New Jersey, and earlier they treated 7 patients in Israel. So this is Israel-based company, a pluripotent company. They are working on it, and I think in severely COVID patients, severely complicated patients, this therapy is going to help us.
Right. Yeah, and it was our prediction several months ago that prevention, and then the next thing would be treatment, because the vaccine's going to be quite some time away. But
immunity.
Yeah, and build up your immunity.
Immunity. This is how you can increase your defense mechanism of your body.
Right.
The immunity is going to be very important. One of the things we learned from one of the doctors, though, is that asthma patients are having a better positive reaction to the COVID because of the asthma treatments, which are anti-inflammatories and antibiotic type treatments that help the body with asthmatic virus type situations. So that would make sense to me that asthma treatments are very beneficial for the COVID-19 situation. So I think that there's just many different things we need to be trying, and getting out there and being proactive, but not leaping and jumping and diving into all of these ideas. Somebody says, "Oh, try this." I think we need to get back to some basics. And, Dr. Saggu, one of the things that is a big controversy in the United States right now is something that we've talked about since day one, is the PPE equipment, but proper use of it. But masks, that has been a huge controversy. And now people are going, well, I'm being told to wear a mask so I don't infect anybody, which I think, well, that's very admirable. We need to think about others before we think about ourselves. So what is your thoughts on that? Can you give us a little bit of insight on the proper use of, and maybe we'll get you to do a video for us because you've done this before, but it's now all of a sudden becoming this big issue. And what are your thoughts? We've talked about the proper way, right?
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
proper masks. But we don't want these chess players to get sick. We need to keep them healthy too. They're all over the world. But if we're going to engage back into society, they keep saying wearing masks is how we're going to have to do this. But can you share some insight on some good disciplines we need?
Yeah, yeah. So, Kim, it is very important to understand that now, which has came from data, that the test which we are performing for the surveillance, we are doing random samples from a normal people. So, around 70 to 75% people who are coming positive, they are asymptomatic. They don't have even a single symptom of the COVID-19. So, it means the most population suffering from the COVID-19, they are asymptomatic. Even we are sitting here, we don't know, we may be positive for this. And it is not always that if you are positive for the COVID-19, it would be injurious to you, it will be problematic for you. So sometimes, you have a coronavirus, but because you have a good immunity, you don't have any chronic diseases, and you can your defense system can fight against this coronavirus, and you can get rid of within 3 to 4 weeks without even knowing that you have a coronavirus infection. So what is there in that period? You are safe for you, but you may be dangerous for the others.
Exactly.
You can be infectious for the others. Even you don't know, you are sitting at home, you don't know you have a COVID-19 or not, but you can be infectious for the other. In that condition, at least you should wear the mask. I'm not saying that everybody should wear the mask, but for the normal population, yes, you can wear the cloth piece that is a barrier. That is only the face cover, so that the droplets which is coming from your mouth, from your nose, or from your body parts, that should not be coming in contact with the other person, or other person's droplets which whosoever it seems to be negative for the COVID should not be in contact with you. So there should be a barrier between two persons in the public areas. So at least you should wear some cloth mask that is a barrier. Yes, the surgical mask and the N95, they should be reserved for the frontliners who are fighting against the COVID-19. They are sitting with the COVID patients. If you have a COVID patient, then you can wear the three-layer surgical mask, but N95 specifically for the healthcare workers. So, there are so many components of PPE, personal protective equipment. So we should not be wasting each and every component of the PPE.
Right.
If you can use each component according to your category of your risk and the category of where you are staying or where you're working. So according to that, if you wear those component of the PPE, then it will not overwhelm the PPE for the places where it is needed more. So you should be using the PPE, you should be using the mask, you should be using the barrier clothes mindfully. It doesn't mean that everybody should wear the PPE and then go on the roads. That is not good. At least you should keep reserve for the people who definitely need all those things.
That is such sound advice. It's more about just being respectful to other people, and mindful about the fact that you could be carrying the disease and not even know it. I mean, we've read about this time and again, and like you said, it's all based on a person's immunity system. That's what we're discovering. This has been a ghost that hit us. I think the world has really addressed it considerably well, the doctors especially. So thank you so much for doing what you do, because you're up against a lot of controversy, because some people say, oh, it's not true, it's just made up, and so you're having to deal with all of the controversy that revolves around something like this. It's not about, at this point, political gain. It's about surviving. And
I mean, this is you who would be responsible for your contact with other person.
exactly.
So you should always be wearing a barrier between the two persons.
Mm-hmm.
I think-
need to unmute the mic. Dr. Saggu, are we on the right track in terms of taking the task force the way India is handling the COVID situation?
Yes, definitely, because the data says, now the data itself speaks. We are,
mute.
yeah.
So go ahead, doctor.
It's being 1 month of the lockdown now, and we have seen the tremendous improvement. If we talk about the doubling time, now doubling time, earlier it was 3 days, now it has come to 10 days. Our test positivity rate is also 4.5, and we don't have a severe patients. Our mortality is slightly lower side if we see on the global side. So the data itself, it says that by lockdown, by the preventive measures which we have did, they are working well for us, and now we are going into the safe zone. So we have already saved the lives, and now this is the time to save the livelihood. So maybe we can plan, we can go for the plan B, we can go for the exit plans now. And here I would like to comment upon one thing, that because this the disease of because of the coronavirus COVID-19 is not much lethal in the countries where the BCG vaccine has been already given. So where the BCG vaccine is a part of national immunization program. So like Italy and the US, it's not a regular part of the national immunization program. So that may be one of the reasons that the lethality is on the higher side in those parts of the world. And on the basis of this, now what happened in India? So we are going to do some human clinical trials for the COVID-19 on the basis of BCG vaccine. Now they are going to use the recombinant BCG, and I think within a week they will start the human trials. And maybe this BCG vaccine, if it would be safe and effective against the COVID-19, so we already have the BCG vaccine, lots and lots, the million doses we already have, and we already have proven the safety of this vaccine, and it would be very easy, and we will take a very less time to prove effective, safe vaccine against the COVID-19. In Pune, one of the province in India, from Maharashtra, Pune. So the Serum Institute is going to work on this, and the recombinant BCG vaccine, they are going to start the human trials, and I think this vaccine will be available for the COVID-19. And even the University of Oxford, London also, they have come up with the vaccine. They have finished their animal trials. They are now going to start the human trials, and that vaccine will also be available for us, and that would be good against the fight of COVID-19.
Yeah, and
we should continue the lockdown for, I mean, to break the chain, or maybe to stop what we are doing and continue doing the good process, because the scare in India, and you know about it, that if we start, I mean, behaving normally, or if we stop the lockdown and start the regular business, it might spread again. What do you think about it?
Yes. There would be definitely a big surge if we lift up the lockdown. The lockdown is helping us, and I think we should continue for another 1 month. And the social distancing is very important. It may be continuing for 1 year. It's good for us also. Social distancing is good, and hand washing is good.
Yeah.
Increase your immunity is good. Hand hygiene is good. Everything is good. We can continue. The thing is, when we are going to start our normal work, when we are going to start uplifting our economy, so that may be possible maybe next month. And even then, we need to continue all these preventive measures. These preventive measures are going to save us from the COVID-19. This is the only disease where you have to make yourself safe before the others, and you have to make the others also safe.
Yeah.
So by making others, you are making yourself safe. So definitely, this social distancing, this hand hygiene, hand washing, everything should continue.
I'm going to just
We are getting a lot of.
I'm just going to do it to be safe. I'm going to pretend like the virus is still out there and it's still going to get me. And I'm just going to take that precaution and be safe. But I will say this, Vegas has offered themselves as a test bed. So if you want to bring in the idea of testing whether, social distancing, that if you just behave normal and maybe your vaccine, they've offered themselves, hey, bring your test here. We'll be the test bed. You can try and practice, new social practices, what works and what doesn't here. I mean, they're pretty desperate right now because they had to shut down and they don't have people. And so, I mean, the thing is we're going to have to test it. I don't want to be the one testing it. I don't know. How do we do that? We're going to use mice. I I don't know. Yes.
I think there are a lot of volunteers who want to, who want to come forward and, take part in the clinical trials and testing process. I have seen a lot of articles and people taking that. I think Dr. Sabbu might be having a good idea about that because, yes, sir.
No, there is no harm in helping the nation, helping the globe. So I think Jennifer was the first volunteer. She came up, and I think the successful trial has already been started on her, and she is giving good results. I mean, the results are also good. The vaccine is coming safe. So when when the human trials are going to start, when you have finished your animal trials, when you have finished your animal trials and it has been proved safe, effective, and with good efficiency, it has already been proved. Then I don't mind there is any harm to uh, 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 get yourself as a volunteer for the human trials. I'm ready for that. If somebody wants to do the trials on me, I'm always there.
Given what happened with this particular virus, and say we do get a vaccine, it's going to be just for this particular virus. That's not going to stop another pandemic virus from hitting the world. I think we're better prepared now. I think something happened again. We know to lock down real fast, just like you lock your doors in your house so you don't let predators in. But I mean, we're going to get the vaccine. I don't think we should stop our practices of good hygiene and building our immunity. I think that's going to be our best defense in future warfare against viruses.
Yeah, so we can develop our immunity, and definitely by immunity, if I mean, a lot of people they when all of those they will recover from this COVID-19, and what will we do? We are just making a celebrity to a common man. So now COVID-19 is a celebrity, and after that, after the vaccine will come, it becomes common man. So when it will become common man, I don't think we should be afraid of. We should be scared of this COVID-19.
No,
But I think if we continue following the best practices,
Yes, we should follow the best practices.
We can be prepared for a lot of other pandemics. Might be we have to face in future. And Dr. Saggu, we are getting a lot of viewers asking us that they wanted to undergo the weight loss surgery or things like that. Is this the right time, or do we have to wait for a couple of months to do that?
So we are already undergoing some video consultations. We are getting consultation done right now because this is the good time to have a complete evaluation, complete history, and complete clinical examination. And maybe later on, after 1 month, we are going to start the bariatric surgeries, and we have already set up some guidelines for that, even for the all of the surgeries, but specifically for the bariatric surgeries, and using all those guidelines and getting the COVID-19 testing and everything, we'll start the bariatric surgery. We have so many patients in pipeline right now. We are getting so many calls every day that they want to get the surgery because so many people there in India now who have come from Canada, and they want to get the surgery done so that they have a time period now, and with this time period they want to get everything done. So it is difficult for us to do a surgery right now, but yes, maybe from the next month we can start the surgeries, and till that we can complete our consultation and everything with the patients.
But what kind of best practices those patients should follow, because they are overweight and they have diabetes and they have blood pressures, and during this pandemic they might be the most conscious person because immunity is very low at point of time, and COVID is at the peak. So what kind of things they should do and what kind of practice they should follow?
Yeah, number one, very important is a healthy lifestyle. We should follow the healthy lifestyle. It consider your physical activity also, and it consider your healthy diet also. And you should be very much disciplined because during this lockdown, we are not that much disciplined which we were earlier. But now we should be very much disciplined. You have a exact time of sleeping, exact time of waking up, and exact time of taking meal, lunch, and dinner. So you should be very much disciplined. You should take care of your diet. Don't take processed diet. Don't take fast food. Just take high in the protein, low in the carbohydrate, take a lot of liquids, and this would be best practices. And if you are suffering from any type of the disease, you should keep your disease under control. If you're diabetic, don't omit your medicines. Don't miss your medicine. Take your medicine regularly, whether it is regarding diabetes, whether it is regarding hypertension, your kidney disease, your psychiatric problems. Don't miss your medicine and have a good sleep. At least 7 to 8 hours sleep is very important. There should not be any type of stress. Do some stress bursting activities so that your mental health should also be good. Keep your physical and mental health very good.
And also, sir, a lot of patient also wants to know, because you have to visit hospitals and you have to see patients, maybe physically or, I mean, like whatever ways you are doing from past month or so, how you are protecting yourself from your family and from the COVID-19, because you are also contagious while doing all those things which you have to do. So what are the best practices you are following for your family and for your?
In the, because there are basically three zones. One is the screening zone, one is the ward, and other is the patient's intensive care unit. So according to your category, you have to wear the PPE. If you are in the OPD and there is no COVID patients, there is no symptomatic COVID patients, and you have not seen the patient in that OPD since last 10 days, a COVID patient, then you can follow the simple. You can wear your 3-layer surgical mask. You can have a face shield. You can have a normal surgical gown. So what all these practices, we are following all these practices, and we are trying to have the same. We are following the hand hygiene. We're washing our hands after consulting every patient to wash your hands, and we are going to clean the surfaces. Even my table also, the hand wash. I'm going, my housekeeping. They're going to clean my tables. Yeah, they are going to clean all the surfaces where the patient has touched. So it is very important to follow good hygiene, hand washing, and clean all the surfaces wherever the patient has touched. Even your mobiles also.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Actually, I'm trying my AirPods so that I should not be touching my mobile. Yeah.
Okay.
So because the mobile is also a vehicle for your coronavirus. So try to keep your mobile in the pouch, or try to use your hand freeze, or try to use your AirPods.
Jewelry is another
Some,
thing that I noticed, that are objects that we wear that could have attracted the virus, and you're carrying it in. You don't realize that it's on your body. You're touching other people. So I've taken and removed all of my jewelries, except for this, and I try to keep it clean and everything. But there are just so many things we don't think about. Our outerwear, right? Take it off, set it in an area where it airs out for a couple of hours. If you've been out on the street, take your shoes off before you come in the house. But there are just so many new practices that we can get into that are just healthy for you in general, right? It would prevent transfer of any virus if you just got in these little. And Dr. Saggu, you make it just, you calm me when you talk about these things, because I get frustrated with other people and they go, oh, it's this, but you tell it in such good sound form because you live this life. I mean, you're in contact with everybody who could have it. So I thank you for your advice on this. I mean, it's.
And I would like to welcome our guest. We have
Just the principle. Yeah.
It is principle.
Yeah. Just the principle is you have.
Go ahead.
Just the principle is you have to clean and wash your virus. It is not my virus. It is not your virus. I have to clean and wash your virus as well as my virus.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So, Dr. Saggu, we have Dr. Rahul with us. He's a consultant pulmonologist at Jaslok Hospital, Bombay. And Dr. Rahul, we have
Dr. Rahul,
surgeon from Delhi.
Namaste.
We have Rajkumar Jain ji. He's a senior